Hello fellow adventurers and welcome to another video of the DM's Guide. In this one we will be talking about the skills. A character's skills represent various abilities he has spent some time learning or developing. From learning to appraise various items, expand your knowledge about the secrets of the multiverse, or trying to blindly use magic items of immense power, almost every skill is a statement about the character you are role playing. Every class has a set of skills that are part of its basic training, and those are called class skills. All the others are cross-class skills, which means that they are more difficult to learn and develop. For example, the Bard and the Rogue are the only classes that have a praise as a class skill, due to the fact that these classes are most commonly picked by money-conscious characters. On the other hand, the heal skill is cross-class for both, because most characters that choose these classes have no particular interest in healing. However, that's not always the case. Some campaigns may cause certain skills to be class ones, that the player's handbook says otherwise. The setting is always important in categorizing class and cross-class skills. For example, in a certain setting, a fighter can have the use magic device as a class skill, because all members of the military are taught how to use magic devices as part of their training. In another, the riot skill is a cross-class for everyone unless they have a noble background, due to the fact that horses are only available to the elite few, and the only way common folk can acquire one is through servitude to the nobles. Always check with the dungeon master when choosing your skills. Every class has different base skill points per level allowance. A high intelligence score also increases the skill points per level a character has. Clerics, fighters, paladins, sorcerers, and wizards get 2+ intelligence modifier skill points per level. Barbarians, druids, and monks gain 4. Bards and rangers are up to 6, and the rogues go all the way to the incredible 8. Don't let it fool you though, a rogue skill point are never enough. When you start a character in the first level, you gain 4 times as many skill points as indicated by your class base skill points. For each skill point you can buy a skill rank if it's one of your class skills, but you need 2 skill points to buy 1 rank in a cross-class skill. The maximum amount of ranks you can have in a skill is calculated by adding 3 to your character's level for class skills. As you can imagine, your cross-class maximum ranks is that number divided by 2. In order to make a skill check, you must first calculate your skill bonus. You add your skill ranks, your ability modifier that correlates to that skill, any miscellaneous bonus such as racial or competence, and that is your skill bonus modifier. To make a skill check, you must roll a 20-sided die and add your skill bonus. Sometimes there are environmental factors that either help or hinder your skill checks. If it is favorable to you, ask your dungeon master how favorable. If on the other hand it is disadvantageous, then don't worry, he will gleefully tell you so. In some cases, in order to achieve the desirable outcome, your skill check must reach or overcome a certain difficulty class that is set in place by your dungeon master. That can be something as easy as seeing a car in plain sight, which has a difficulty class of 0, to something extreme like following a band of orcs over hard ground after a rainy day. Other times you will find yourself competing with an NPC or even one of your own teammates with opposite skill checks. When the bard tries to persuade the guard that your party is merely trying to sell items they found in the cave of a monster, and certainly not the missing equipment that someone stole from the richest merchant 10 days ago, That is when he uses his bluff skill, opposed by the god's sense motive skill. When the priest tries to calm down the barbarian and convince him that killing the emissary of the king just because he thought he was the party servant is a diplomacy check opposed by a sense motive check. You will find out that there are some cases when your skill is boosted by environmental factors, like when the bandit is surrounded by your party, his own party dead at your feet, and you try to intimidate him into surrendering. The Dungeon Master should give your characters a bonus to boost your intimidation attempt. On the other hand, when you try to convince the tribe of goblins to surrender to a party of 5 normal-looking people and 1 barbarian, the penalties should reflect the current situation. Sometimes, when you fail a skill check, you have the opportunity to try again and get a better result. However, that's not always the case. For example, when you use the disguise skill, you can check your results in a mirror and try again if you're not satisfied with the result. Assuming, of course, you have the time and are not in a hurry. In other cases, like the decipher script skill, you cannot try again to see if you understand the meaning of the message you try to decipher. When your character is not threatened or distracted, he can choose to take 10. That means that you do not try too hard for something, usually a simple task like climbing a rope against the wall, where the difficulty class is 5. So you don't risk failing and suffer the consequences. If you have plenty of time and the skill carries no penalties for failing, like searching a room for traps or try to escape when you're tied, then you can take 20 and ensure the best result you could ever accomplish. This of course implies you have enough time to try many times using a skill so that eventually you will roll 20. Some skills can be used by everyone even if they have spent no time actually practicing them. How many times have you not been stopped by an officer and asked to balance on line to see if you are drunk? Almost everyone can do such a simple task, even without training, unless you're drunk of course, but not everyone can balance on a tightrope, which is why the balance skills can be used even untrained, but you should spend some skill points if you want to do the really hard stuff. There will be times when you find yourself having 2 players trying the same skill in order to achieve better results. That is not always allowed though, and sometimes you must pick the best suited character for the job. Don't worry however, because the other player can help as well. Some skills allow the players to work together in order to give the one that attempts the check an extra bonus. In that case, the character that is helping uses the aid action to give a bonus to the character that rolls the skill check. If the result of the aid roll is above 10, then the character skill check has a +2 bonus to his result. Of course, there will be a time that helping another is not possible, like when you make a swim check to see if you can reach a boat in time before the shark eats you. Though every circumstance is different and you should ask your dungeon master if helping you is possible. You will find out that some skills work better with others, and that is called skill synergy. In order for a skill to grant that bonus, you must at least have 5 ranks in it. For example, if you know how to use a rope to tie people, then naturally you have a bonus when others are trying to tie you down. So 5 ranks in the use rope skill give you a +2 bonus in the escape artist skill. Eventually, you will discover that your character sometimes wants to attempt something that no skill actually correlates to it, and that is when you will use an ability check. From breaking down a door, threading a needle, remembering parts of a text, to holding your breath. There is no specific skill for every aspect of reality. In those cases, the Dungeon Master sets a difficulty class depending on the action's difficulty and tells you the ability that corresponds with that check. In some cases, an action is a straight test of one's ability with no luck involved. Just as you wouldn't make a height check to see who is taller, you don't make a strength check to see who is stronger. When two characters arm wrestle, for example, the stronger character simply wins. In the case of identical scores, let the dice speak. And that's it for today. We will be talking about every skill in particular and analyzing them in another video. If you found this one useful, then by all means like, subscribe, and for the love of all that's holy, enjoy the game.